Let's make a deal.
I have a simple message towards all content creators on YouTube, and that message is to strike the media. I'm not using hyperbole or trying to trick you or trying to do a dog whistle. I'm not being dishonest or disingenuous, but we are in a unique state of affairs right now. The media is attacking YouTubers at this point. And some of you might say, why should I care? Well, it's Sargon of Akkad today, it's PewDiePie today, it's some other big YouTuber today, but it could be you tomorrow if you garner their type of influence. Now, why is the media attacking content creators? Well, it's simple. It's not a dumb strategy. It makes perfect sense and it makes rational sense because the media understands that their influence is shrinking, and content creators on YouTube and people with large influences on social media, their influence and their presence and their opinions are starting to become more popular than that of the mainstream legacy media, or the old guard as I like to call them. These people know that. They have marketing teams, they have social media teams. They understand how this is going down. And so these people are fighting back by attacking YouTubers and trying to delegitimize alternative media. They paint themselves as the only option, and that reminds me of an old company that you all may have heard of or may not have heard of. That reminds me of Blockbuster Video. You see, until streaming services came out like Netflix, Hulu, and others, companies like Blockbuster used to dominate when it came to watching movies. And so for a while, if you were to go to one of those stores, the customer service could be very shitty. And then you notice when Redbox, which allowed you to rent a movie for very, very cheap as compared to Blockbuster, and then when a streaming service like Netflix came out, the customer service suddenly got better. The employees would actually bag up your rentals without you having to ask, of course. They would ask how your day was. I remember that transition. The transition of taking a long-standing juggernaut and bringing them to their knees. Is that not enough reason for you to attack the media? If you are in the middle and maybe you see what both sides are saying and you think the truth is somewhere in the middle, do you not see enough reason to attack the media? The time for fence sitting and being a serial centrist is over. The media wants a piece of our pies. The media wants us gone. Do you want to know why? They've lost younger viewers. A lot of their viewers are really old and going away. And so as a response, they want younger viewers. And they know when it comes to younger people, a good portion of them watch YouTube videos. The mainstream media cannot keep up with us. Maybe not with someone like me, of course, but the bigger YouTubers, and collectively speaking, we are destroying the mainstream media in terms of viewership. And not only with viewership, but retention of viewership. Think about it. How many mainstream media news anchors and journalists could the average member of Generation Y, or even some millennials, actually name? I would venture to guess that with the average millennial and person who belongs to Generation Y, they couldn't name you at least 10 people who belong to the legacy media. But when it comes to YouTube personalities and content creators, I guarantee you a lot of them know who PewDiePie is. A lot of them know who Philip DeFranco is. A lot of them know who H3 Productions is. A lot of them have heard of Undoomed or Sargon of Akkad, Dave Cullen, Thunderfoot, Wizard of Cause, Naked Ape, Vernaculus, Teal Deer. Many have heard of Steve Shives, The One Janitor, Trey Melvin, Dark Matter, The Amazing Atheist, Bearing, Rory the Lion, Suit Yourself, Blair White, Tyler Preston, That Guy T, Some Black Guy, The Hard Bastard, Jeff Holiday, Megan Tonjes, and many, many, many more. Do you see the problem here? The legacy mainstream media is all but irrelevant. People like YouTube content creators are relevant. The legacy media does not like that. It threatens their very survival. They want their own little sad corner of the internet. They're not getting it because a lot of people can see beyond the bullshit. And not only can see beyond the bullshit, but can see past the bullshit. As I said before, the time to strike is now. And as I said in my last video, in the words of Dr. Martin Luther King, there is nothing like the fierce urgency of now. In my opinion, everyone has a reason to attack the media, be it for partisan reasons or just attack the media for their dishonesty. Understand the difference between me and the mainstream media. I don't have billions of dollars behind me. I'm just some asshole on the internet. But when you have millions and billions of of dollars behind you. You have PR teams. You have million-dollar studios. That's dangerous. I'm not saying that these people shouldn't be allowed to do this, but what I'm saying is if they are going to do this, you, every last one of you, subscribers, patrons, content creators, you have the power to fight back. Stop being fence sitters. The time for that has come and gone. Let me give you an example. As some of you may or may not know, I was in the Army. What I'm going to tell you is something that I think most veterans will tell you, especially combat veterans. During basic training and even deployments to combat, the most briefed on news organization was CNN, because CNN, even among veterans, is notorious for lying. So I've seen guys who could not do their jobs effectively because they were so worried that organizations that claim to show you the news would photograph them, take their actions out of context, and make them look like baby killers. That's a problem. For those of you who are anti-social justice or anti-feminist, you know how the media smears any opposition to social justice and feminism. If you are into social justice and or a feminist, and you are sick of the media just hiring a bunch of good-looking people to try to sway your opinion, it doesn't matter what side you're on. You have a reason to strike the media. The media has destroyed lives over and over and over again. The media, under instruction from donors and advertisers and special interests to certain issues, has for the longest time attempted to sway opinion. And many times they are actually successful. Once again, it doesn't matter if you're left, right, or center. That is a problem. These people aren't even engaging in journalism. They're just giving their silly opinions. They're not showing you the news. They're showing you what you should think about the news. That is the blockbuster mentality. Let's show them Netflix. Let's show them that no longer will you manipulate us. No longer will you lie. No longer will you prop up a position, even if it's indefensible. The time is now. You need to fight back. If you are subscribed to a mainstream media newsletter, cancel it. Cancel your subscription. If you watch the mainstream media, stop watching. The only time you should be watching the mainstream media is when you are preparing to criticize them. Hold their feet to the fucking fire, because as I said before, it's Sargon today and you tomorrow. If you want to make YouTube a career. To the patrons, consider becoming patrons to everyone who goes against the mainstream narrative. I'm not saying that for selfish gain, because I don't care if you give me money, but consider giving anyone money who fights the mainstream media. To the subscribers, subscribe to channels who fight against the mainstream narrative. Send them a message with your voice and your numbers. View videos that goes against the mainstream narrative. That's how you beat them. To everyone, the time is now to strike. As I said in my last video, when your enemy is weak, that is not the time to sheathe your sword, lower your shield, or drop your spear. That is the time to strike the finishing blows. Just watch how easily this issue can unite people who were once very adversarial when it comes to certain opinions. Take Sargon of Akkad and Thunderfoot, for example. Sargon was attacked recently in printed media online. I'll leave a link in the description so that you can read that at your own leisure. But think about Thunderfoot. Do you guys remember the whole Laughing Witch saga with Thunderfoot? I don't want to go over the details because that's not the purpose of this video. But members of the local news in Laughing Witch's area tried to make Thunderfoot look like a villain and tried to also make Laughing Witch look like a victim. Do you see the parallels here? The media attacked both Sargon of Akkad and Thunderfoot, and despite their adversarial opinions that they've been having lately, they both could unite against a common enemy that has smeared them both. The mainstream media has been attacking YouTubers left and right. Do you need another high-profile example outside of PewDiePie? Here, let me help you out with that. I'll leave a link in the description of a Philip DeFranco video where he explains this in greater detail. The Guardian, with one of their so-called writers, Zoe Williams, wrote an attack article on Zoella, or Zoe Sugg. I mean, even if you somehow, some way, could say that PewDiePie deserved what he got for dressing up as a Nazi or making Nazi jokes, what did Zoe Zoella do to deserve an attack article? But the article itself is not what you should be looking at or paying attention to. It's actually at the bottom of the article. Allow me to read this part to you because it lets you know the state of the mainstream media. It says here, since you're here, we've got a small favor to ask. More people are reading The Guardian than ever, but far fewer are paying for it. Complete bullshit in my opinion. I don't think more people are reading you because they like you. They're reading you because you make clickbaity articles. And then when they see that those articles are bullshit, they stop reading and they don't return. But anyways, advertising revenues across the media are falling fast. And unlike some other news organizations, we haven't put up a paywall. We want to keep our journalism open to all. So you can see why we need to ask for your help. The Guardian's independent investigative journalism takes a lot of time, money, and hard work to produce. But we do it because we believe our perspective matters, because it might well be your perspective too. Really. If everyone who reads our reporting, who likes it, helps to support it, our future will be much more secure. Let me ask you a question. After hearing that, do you think the mainstream media is not in trouble? They absolutely are in trouble. Our enemies are weak. Strike them while they're weak. Make videos criticizing the media. I don't care which side of the aisle you lean. If you find a source of media that you don't like, that belongs to the mainstream media, attack them. Do not let up. They're not showing YouTubers mercy. Let's respond in kind. But what do I know? I'm just the devil in the details.